Some players go out on loan and disappear, but then there are those who return, capturing everyone's attention. And at Everton, a name from Finch Farm is making headlines outside Merseyside, with performances that are already catching even Premier League rivals' attention. Meanwhile, a longtime acquaintance of the first team may be packing his bags, and this time, it seems there's no turning back. But what's going on behind the scenes at Everton for so much change? Stay tuned until the end of the video, because this story involves a gem from the academy, a starter losing his morale, and decisions that could affect the club's future. First of all, like and subscribe to the channel. And let's talk about what's really happening at Goodison Stadium. One of the most talked about names in Everton's youth academy is thriving away from home, and in a way no one expected. Harrison Armstrong, the young striker who graduated from Finch Farm, is enjoying a spectacular spell at Preston North End. Since joining on loan, he has excelled with each passing game, demonstrating his talent to compete for a place in the Toffees' first team. And David Moyes' decision to release the youngster was strategic. After a strong performance at Derby County, the manager wanted to see him tested at a higher level, playing consistent minutes in the Championship, and the return has been beyond expectations. In Preston's 3-2 victory over Sheffield United, Armstrong was simply the standout performer. The Lancashire Evening Post gave him an 8 and described his performance as colossal. The BBC called him a gem, and rightly so. Former academy coach David Unsworth revealed that he saw something special in him from an early age, saying Armstrong could go all the way. Now Everton is starting to worry because the youngster's contract expires next summer, and their Premier League rivals are keeping an eye on him. Will the club be able to hold on to this promise? Or will they repeat the mistake of losing talents like Isaac Price and Thierry Small? The moment calls for action. Moyes and the Friedkin Group need to show they have a real plan for the youngster, and the clearest path would be simple. Make room in the first team and prove that Everton still values their treasures. While Armstrong shines away from home, an experienced player in the squad seems to be experiencing the opposite. Dwight McNeil, once a key player for Everton, is now seeing his place diminish under David Moyes. With the arrival of Jack Grealish, the winger's chances have practically disappeared. So far, McNeil has made only 2 Premier League appearances, one of which lasted just 4 minutes. And what made matters even worse was his worrying performance for the U21 team in the 5-1 thrashing of Bradford City. For a player in the first team, this kind of performance carries a lot of weight. Former Everton scout Brian King stated that there's a very good chance McNeil will be sold in January, with Nottingham Forest appearing as a likely destination. And there's an interesting detail. The manager there is Sean Dyche, who has worked with him at 2 different clubs. Could a third reunion be on the horizon? But McNeil isn't the only player in a precarious situation. Nathan Patterson also remains out of Moyes' plans. The fullback is still recovering from an injury, but even when he was available, he hasn't earned any minutes, a clear sign that the manager no longer has much confidence in the player. Patterson almost left on loan last summer, and that's likely to happen now if Everton finds a replacement quickly. Moyes is reshaping the squad, cutting underperformers and making room for those who excel on the pitch. And this is changing the atmosphere within the club. While Armstrong shows the promising future coming from the academy, McNeil and Patterson represent a cycle that seems close to its end. This is the transition Moyes has been leading since his arrival. A more competitive Everton, more focused on merit, and above all, hungry for results. And this change could be decisive. Because if Armstrong truly integrates into the first team and delivers what he's been showing at Preston, fans could be about to see a new star rise from the academy, something long awaited on Merseyside. The question is, will the club have the courage to take the plunge? The scenario is clear. Everton is experiencing a period of renewal. On one hand, a young talent is impressing away from home. On the other, more experienced players are losing ground and may be on their way out. It's now up to the club to decide whether to invest in the future or let someone else build on what was nurtured at Finch Farm. And you, fan, what do you think? Does Armstrong deserve a spot in the first team next season? Leave your comments below, because the discussion is promising. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss future updates on everything happening at Goodison Stadium.